I had spent so long looking for that film that finding it was no longer so much as important as resolving the quest to find it, if that makes any sense. I had only fleeting memories of having seen it so many years ago. But in all my years searching for the film, I never questioned one important aspect. What if my memories, affected by my youth, were not accurately representative of the film's quality? To put it more bluntly, what if the film sucked? And this concludes another chapter of the last level of some game I got for my 9th birthday. Except they left the E off. Silly filmmakers. Perhaps we'll continue that tomorrow. We can't. I don't stream tomorrow. Welcome to another late night Purblind Gamer stream. And at long last, happy Spooktober. Finally, we have carte blanche to play horror games, and nothing but horror games. So, I feel like that's most of the year for me. I gotta diversify. Okay, November 1st we start Stardew Valley. Except, wait, what day of the week is November 1st? Oh, it's a Wednesday. I actually could. But I shan't. Yeah. Happy October to all, and I hope everybody's having a good week. Mine's been weird. Still trying to put the finishing touches on a bigger project before things get crazy, which just happy they haven't gotten crazy now. I'm trying to come up with strategies for things. But enough about work. Thank you to everybody who came out to my last couple of streams. On Monday we did a bonus stream where we read more of Benighted. Made it through a fair amount. And on Sunday we played On Escape, and we finished it. And maybe November 1st we'll start the New Game Plus mode. Or we would, if 1997 Amiga games had New Game Plus mode, and also if I wanted to, which I don't. But now that cinematic platformer September is over, we can get into Spooktober. And that's what I was going to apologize for. I know I said I was going to be playing, one of the games I was playing this month was that horror hidden object adventure hybrid, Shadows, Price of Our Sins, which is set in Halloween. So, it's a good thing to play for the month. But I can't get it to work right. And I spent hours doing that over the last couple of days, which were hours I probably could have spent on something more productive. But, yeah, I can get it run, but not in any way, shape, or form right. So, maybe I'll buy the Steam version instead someday and see if that works better. Or just forget about it, because I'm good at forgetting things. If only. So, I had been planning to play Nightmare Frames at some point, because WireBrain had suggested it, and it sounds like the kind of game I would enjoy, and the kind of plot I would enjoy. It reminds me of John Carpenter's Cigarette Burns, which is like an overlooked movie of his, and I don't know, of the Masters of Horror series I saw, I think that was the best one. The Mick Garris one was close, but John Carpenter. So I just went ahead and got a copy of this game, and we'll be playing it. And it doesn't look like a frightfully long game, so maybe it'll just be 2 streams. Of course, as we've established, I sometimes grossly underestimate the amount of time it will take me to complete games. See also Resident Evil 1. Yeah. I could start Resident Evil 2 for Spooktober, but then we might be here till January playing Spooktober games. I can think of worse things to happen. And just to remind everybody, the community challenge will be continuing for another, I think it's just another week. Will that be enough time? We'll see. I'll be able to do a couple of streams in that time. Yeah, I suppose that's everything. Let's get the game started. Forgive me if I play it in English and not Spanish. My Spanish never made it beyond the high school level. Okay, I like it already. Very surreal. Well, let's start it up, shall we? The guys don't know that the lunatic is back. I have to warn them before it's too late. Moonshine Camp. No, no! Dana, Hank! Oh God! Will! What have they done to you? I'm too late. Where's Tommy? Tommy? Tommy! It's very much like we're in a slasher movie. Tommy! Stacy, run! Run away! Let it go, you monster! Get out of here! He'll come for you! I can't take it anymore. Oh! Shit. You've been suspecting it for a while. The climax of Lunatic 2 is identical to the one you wrote for the original movie. You go over the whole script in your mind and end up realizing it has the same structure as its predecessor. You can't show this to Christopher Ruskin. Melodies of... No wonder you've had such a little interest in the script for Lunatic 2. Memories of Heaven. All your thoughts are focused on the ambitious project that will take you back to the times of Melodies of Heaven. The script that earned you an Oscar nomination in 1980. Famous producer Peter Evans is butting heads with the studio executives to get the project greenlit. According to him, the deal is almost done, which means you're just one step away from leaving the B-movie pit you're in. He was meeting with the executives this morning. You have an appointment later today at his place, hopefully to celebrate. It's getting late. I should get moving. Hollywood, 1985. Right-click, look. Left-click, interact. Middle-click, die. There's a pile of books on. Wait a minute. That's where you put your wallet. And to think you had it right under your nose when the Chinese food delivery guy refused, and rightly so, to give you your order. That's where you put your wallet. You take the wallet in the hopes of not misplacing it and forgetting about it again. It's a good thing you always carry a few bills in your jacket so you can pay for cabs. You've lost track of how long ago you unplugged the TV and don't plan to plug it back in ever again. There's nothing of interest in that box. You usually read the news in the papers, and TV series are nothing more than watered-down movies. And reruns of movies. Even if you don't consider your work in horror movies as worthy of any praise, other people do. You were awarded Best Script by the Fantasporto jury for President's Day Killer. Lunatic caused a sensation in the Sitges Film Festival, and you won Best Screenwriter. Is that a real film festival? That same year, you also collected awards in FRMAES thanks to Lunatic. You didn't pick up a single one of them in person. You hate the crowds at those B-tier festivals. But there's something you hate even more: being surrounded by fans of horror movies. You haven't wound it up since you started writing the script for Lunatic 2. You usually guess the time by the light that comes in through the window. If you continue like this, you'll end up rubbing two sticks together to light the stove. 2 years ago, 3D horror movies made their comeback to Hollywood with titles such as Friday the 13th 3D, Amityville 3D, and Jaws 3D. Of course, Ruskin Productions wanted its share of the pie. They commissioned a new slasher full of gory scenes where the entrails of victims would jump at the viewer. However, the budget was so small, for a change, that most of the scenes requiring more complex VFX than usual were discarded. The director made up for it by moving the camera closer to the actress's breasts. Ruskin didn't object. Neither did the viewers. Yeah, they're not going to give us an insert to that other poster? You try not to focus too much on the promotional poster for Lunatic. You fear your future will consist only of ringing its sequels far into the 90s. Don't go in the four. Oh, it's like a takeoff on Don't Go in the House. The killer in President's Day Killer was a dangerous far-right madman who used a Jimmy Carter mask to stage a massacre at a Young Democrats convention. Since then, you have a reputation for being a reactionary, which confirms what you already knew. Horror fans are idiots. I'd watch some of these movies. It's time to vote. Yeah, the tagline's illegible. It's there at the top. There's a film called Maniac. I wonder if that's what that one was inspired by. I want my Friday the 13th, Alan, Christopher Ruskin told you. And that's what you did, apathetically penning a flagrant copy of Sean S. Cunningham's classic. However, the movie was Ruskin Productions' biggest success to date, and today it's considered a cult classic. Does anybody even know how Hollywood works? Because I definitely don't. Hey, that's the wrong one. Campfire Psycho. No tagline. Starlight, staring at the poster for Melodies of Heaven, you've got the feeling that there's another reality in which some other Alan Goldberg, an Oscar winner, enjoys a successful career within the big studio system. Oh, that's the one we saw. Your favorite big blue mug. It's always been at your side while writing. Do you guys suppose this game might be made in Adventure Game Studio? I think it just could be. Your loyal Olivetti Lettera 32, same model Francis Ford Coppola used to write, for example, the magnificent scenes of Solozzo's death at the hands of Michael Corleone in The Godfather. It's a very versatile machine. It can also be used to give teenagers dumb lines and make skimpily dressed girls head straight towards danger instead of running in the opposite direction. People always say that those masked psycho movies write themselves, and it's something you've always agreed with, but failing to write the sequel to Lunatic is making you change your mind. The best thing you can do now is go outside and forget about writing for today. Complete disaster. Oh, that must be the script. Unlike the people at Variety, somebody at Fangoria magazine thinks you should have a subscription. That's why it arrives in your mailbox each month without fail. Ever since you spoke out publicly against the daughter of Eliza from Eliza's Mansion of Horrors, you've been flooded with anonymous letters from her fans wishing you the most horrible of deaths. Yeah, they're all the same letters. Okay. Ooh. You've marked the due date for the script of Lunatic 2 with a big red circle. Okay, we've looked at everything. Might as well go outside. Welcome to LA United Taxi. Where do you want to go? When you get in a taxi, the drivers will talk to you. You can disable this feature in the options menu. I feel like it told me where to go, and then I got sidetracked reading all the posters and completely forgot. Come on, gentlemen. Splash the cash. You could be helping this poor man right here with all that dough you scrimp by hiring illegal aliens to take care of your lawns. Jack Palmer was a child star in the 30s. He was the lead in Gang of Seven, such a rip-off of our gang that its biggest accomplishment was not to be sued for plagiarism. When his voice dropped and the acne made its appearance, he disappeared until the 50s, when he made a comeback as the director of a couple of movies about giant radioactive insects which devoured everything that crossed their paths. I'd watch them. Humans, military machinery, and even the production company itself, which went bankrupt. He returned to Hollywood in the 80s in his latest incarnation, a homeless drunkard. Well, well. You here to insult me again? What? Again with that? Is that your way of saying hello or what? You told me your career was going downhill so hard that you would rather jump off the 6th Street viaduct than end up like me. Come on, Jack. Don't be resentful. Even if it did happen 12 days and 46 minutes ago, I don't like to be called resentful. All right, for the umpteenth time, I'm sorry. I've got the habit of saying what I think. That's not a virtue. The trick is to think about what you say. You know what, Alan? You're a strange guy. You don't like people, you freak them out, and yet, somehow, nobody sends you packing. Anyway, how's it going? Awful. Glad to see you haven't lost that optimism you're known for. They showed one of your movies yesterday. Which one? The one with the fucking spiders, or the one with the fucking ants? Spiders. And how did you know if you don't watch TV? I read it in the papers. Those movies are in the spotlight again with this old 50s revival that's going on. And I still don't see a single cent from them. Not that I should, anyway. The production company went bankrupt and who knows who got the rights now. Some asshole must be making crazy money off my work while I'm here panhandling. Though not long ago, a couple of journos came for an interview for one of those magazines for wankers. What was it called? Starlog? I felt like a director again, telling them about how those movies were made. Those were good times, Alan. Yeah. And that's why it's important that people get residuals. I feel like there was some discussion of that recently. I occasionally read the trades. I've got things to do, Jack. Behave, Alan. What's that guy doing in there? Oh, I think he's holding a smoking cigarette. I'm get used to, like, hotspots not showing up. Alan, I never thought I'd say this, but I'm glad to see you. Again, James? We've got a little debate here. You're the erudite here. Give me a hand. Pam is saying that the Church of Mother Earth is a cult. It is. Oh, come on, not you too. You should stop by one day, Alan. As a guest, of course. We have exercises to improve one's mood and see life from a different perspective. I'd rather throw myself out that window. You're wasting your time, friend. How about you, Pam? Are you in? I don't get paid enough to put up with this. More posters. The first movie produced by Ruskin was House by the Graveyard. I'm assuming all of these are references. In 1981, it was a Z movie indebted to Italian horror cinema, with an aesthetic closer to the 70s than to the decade it was shot in. For some reason, you can't seem to grasp. Ruskin is proud of the first movies he produced, and that's why he placed the posters in the entrance hall of his production company. I guess we don't get a closer look at them. The Neighbor was a boring movie about a girl who thought her neighbor was a vampire. Lately, Ruskin has been thinking of suing Tom Holland and Columbia Pictures over the suspicious similarities between his film and the more recent Fright Night. Didn't Fright Night get a remake not that long ago? Maybe they were just threatening. Christopher Ruskin was so impressed with the concept of shock waves. I've actually seen that. That one was hard to find for a good while, but my dad found a VHS. That's a good one. It has Christopher Lee. And he wanted his own Nazi zombies movie. Scharführer had little success, and the blame fell on Ruskin Productions, then official screenwriter. After the disastrous premiere, you were hired to replace him. Oh look, at the bottom of the screen. There's like some really dark text. So I guess that'll tell you if you're hovering on something that you can interact with. I'm guessing it's red. I'm gonna hack the game files and turn it white. I need to look at him. Pam brought me up to speed. Lunatic 2, huh? Wow, you must be happy. Oh yeah, I can't stop jumping for joy. Come on, Alan. Everyone's talking about the movie. It's a success so far. I even heard rumors over at Warner. Rumors? They want David Draven, the director, to shoot the next Stallone movie. Though Sly wants to keep George P. Cosmatos. Anyway, Lunatic's the talk of the town. And did you hear anything about the screenwriter? No, I'm sorry. What are you working on now? I've taken a couple months off. Haven't stopped shooting lately, though Martin's been calling. Who's Martin? Scorsese. He wants me in his next movie. Paul will be there too. Paul? What Paul? McCartney? Newman. I haven't made up my mind yet. I've also been talking to Brian. De Palma. Brian May. Called it! Hey Alan, are you pulling my leg? I don't know what to do. I might consult with Stephen. Seagal? Spielberg. Good. Do you really think the Earth is a living being? Of course. What seems to add onto me is for people as clever as you not to believe it. Mother Earth's always been sending signals, but we never paid attention until she chose Joseph as her intermediary. She speaks through him. Yes, tells him what to do. Exactly. Let's drop the subject. I'm feeling insulted. Why? You're treating me like a 4-year-old. What do you do in that cult exactly? Again with that? We're not a cult. We're a legally constituted church. Okay, call it whatever you want, but what do you do there? We're not allowed to talk about it. Come by one day and see for yourself. See? Sounds like a cult. How's that a way of advertising yourselves? Just imagine I drop by one day and end up with melted wax on my chest and 4 octogenarians ready to abuse me. Hilarious. For your information, that would never happen. The teachings of the Church of Mother Earth are based on kindness and common good. See you. All right, think about it. What should I think about? Well, Pam, as you were saying, we were not saying anything. Pam looks annoyed. Hold on a second. I'll be right back. Righto, we're back. Pam Lawrence is Christopher Ruskin's right hand. Without her, the company would be a shadow of what it is now. There are times you feel she knows more about everything that's going on in the company than her own boss, so she's the one to go to first when any issues come up. How's the script going? Fine. I need to touch up a couple of things. Problem with the third act, right? Aren't there always? How did you know? I've been working with you for a long time, honey. When everything's going well, you barely say a word. When you try to explain yourself, it means something's wrong. The treatment already showed that you weren't too sure about the third act. But don't worry. We begin shooting next month. There's still time. Oh, damn. That's a pretty quick. Wait, what? Do you guys see something just like fly across the screen? Pam insists on putting all the files on that little computer. The files contain information from 1978 to the present day. What are you looking for exactly? Christopher is not in his office right now, but you're welcome there anytime. So go ahead. Don't Go in the Forest in 3D and Campfire Psycho. Surprisingly for you, they were both successes. You look at the posters for the movies you've written with the same indifference as a plumber looking at the faucet you fixed, though you would probably be prouder of his work than you are of yours. From time to time, Christopher speaks about market trends and audience preferences by pointing to a page in one of these folders. You suspect the page is usually random. It's not unusual to find Christopher talking on the phone with his feet on the desk, sitting as if he'd been thrown in there from 30 feet up. There's a bottle of cologne on the desk. Christopher always has expensive drinks at hand to liven up meetings and render possible investors defenseless. You decide to take one. The game says no. I wonder if there is a setting you can use to change the font color. That's my wallet. There's someone reading the paper. Where to, man? Well, well, who do we have here? Crawled back out from your hole already?
Hey everyone, I'm Karen Johnson, bringing you the best.
I see you're still in yours. Hey, Joe. Doesn't this place have an admittance policy? Do you want me to kick him out, Vicky? I gather that I'm a regular here. Arcade game. Joe replaces the arcade machine often. New games keep the kids coming back to blow their weekly allowance on it. So you can actually hear like someone talking in the room tone. The background. Yeah. Do I have coins? No. No. We'll have to find quarters elsewhere. This place makes a lot of money. It's well located, prices are affordable, and, as much as Joe may complain, patrons are never in short supply. There's Joe. Hey, Joe. Oh. When are you going to add me to that wall of fame? No offense, Alan, but you're no celebrity. You're a screenwriter. Can a screenwriter be a celebrity? No. It's like taking a picture with a lighting technician. Jeez. What about William Goldman? Don't you know him? No. See? A screenwriter can't be a celebrity. Jeez. This is the thing I went to school for. New machine? That one? Yeah, it's one of those modern thingamajigs with touch panels. It has quizzes for smartasses like you. It's not exactly a hit so far. Kids prefer to shoot spaceships. They're coming to change it tomorrow. If you want to try it out, do it today. But let me warn you, there are no prizes. Yeah, quiz arcade games. Can I ask you a personal question? Let's see. Are you happy in that kitchen? You're asking if I'm happy? Well, you're here day and night, always completely soaked in sweat, and I thought... You thought? Mr. Hollywood thought? You don't think this is a decent job? Is that what you're suggesting? No, not at all. Look, Mr. Smarty Pants, I started this business when I was 14. I've spent my whole life working for others and putting up with everyone's shit. I always wanted to be my own boss and to open a place like this. That's always been my dream, and it's as worthy as yours of making it to the Mount Olympus of cinema legends, okay? I didn't mean to offend you, Joe. Bah. Hey, Big Fatty Plus, welcome in. How are you doing today? You guys, please go check out Big Fatty Plus. I'm doing alright, thanks. Decent day. Like this game so far. Oh, playing Cultic. Are you enjoying that? Yeah, my pleasure. I'll be around. Aren't you going to order a drink? No, thanks. Hey, that's my movie. That damn channel broadcasts video clips non-stop, 24 hours a day. It's so popular that studios are starting to hire music video directors to, in your opinion, deal cinema its final death blow. Well, we had that early in the 80s? The interlude. Oh, interlude just came out. Oh, and you finished Stalker. Nice. Is that a... Which Stalker is that? Like most aspiring actresses, Vicky came to Hollywood full of hopes and dreams, just to end up waiting tables in one of the city's many restaurants. You spent good moments with her, and you could say she's the girl of your dreams, were it not for your particular way of dreaming. What was that all about? I don't know what you're talking about. That dumb thing about the admission policy. Don't you have anything to say to me? Good afternoon? Good? Good. Oh, God. Don't you owe me an apology? A week ago, you were on a second date with Vicky, despite the disaster that was the previous one. And it was worse. You got drunk and started blabbering away. You only remember ending up lying on the back seat of a taxi, soaked in the wine Vicky probably threw at you before running away, and a strong pain in your cheek. So, in these moments, you wish you were at your typewriter, with all the time in the world to think of the possible answer your character might give. You try to choose the right words to tell Vicky, but this page will probably end up in the trash can. Anyway, let's drop the subject, okay? What did I say? Don't you remember? I hadn't felt so insulted in my whole life, Alan. But what on earth did I say? I won't repeat it. Hearing it once was enough. Keep it down, lovebirds. Aren't you going to tell me? It's not what you said, Alan. The problem is you did it again. You always manage to ruin a special night. I don't get your frustration, Alan. You're not that man just starting out in Hollywood anymore. That was years ago. You got a job, you make a living, and you've tasted success. What else do you want? Do you want to know what frustration looks like? I've spent 5 years in Hollywood, and I haven't gotten a single part yet. I'm 35 and share an apartment with two 20-somethings. They've barely been here for 2 months, and one's already been on Cheers, and the other's a regular on the Colbys. And that doesn't prevent me from showing the ones I love some respect, you know? All right, I'm sorry. I apologize if I offended you. What? What's that if? Of course you offended me. You're better at hurting people than at writing scripts, you know? And the worst thing about it is, God, I'm such an idiot that I'd hang out with you again tonight. But it's over, Alan. I don't need this kind of relationship in my life right now. I don't blame you for it. I can barely stand myself. Try to see life as it is, Alan. You have to pull your weight if you want things to work between us. For a moment, you think about apologizing again, this time in a less apathetic and more sincere way. But you know it won't change Vicky's mind, so you decide to spare her the words. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Have you been to any castings this week? 3. And it's always the same. Either too young or too old. Is this the start of Tootsie? Why don't you get her into one of your movies? I tried. Twice. Associate producers get their lady friends in. I can't do anything about that. You're not pushing hard enough. That's not how it works, Joe. I'm just the screenwriter and... But why am I explaining myself to you? Why are you barging in on our conversation? Because Vicky's worth a lot. She's a good actress. I know she's good. Very good. Yeah? If she was as good as you say, we'd already have seen her in that lunatic movie. Let it be, Joe. Alan's right. Why are you defending him? Are you so infatuated with him that you swallow everything he says? Excuses. If he'd wanted to, you would have been in one of his movies already. Please, Joe. It's your life, and it's none of my business. Well, you haven't stopped meddling. I only want the best for my employees, okay? Is that clear? That's all. As you wish. Max Pollan is a freelance journalist who specializes in TV critiques. He feels at home in this place that he practically uses it as his office. Joe doesn't object. Max spends an average of $10 a day here. Billy blissfully enjoys Joe's Diner's new burger. Hey, word monger. There's nothing for you in there. Oh, I guess that's the kitchen. Yeah, I guess that's the exit. Hi, we meet again. Where are we off to now? Thank you for your cooperation, officer. Good evening. Oh, Goldberg. What a tragedy. What happened? Where's Evans? I'm afraid I've got bad news. Evans committed suicide. What? We're in shock too. We can't seem to make sense of it. But... why would he commit suicide? He had everything a man could aspire to. We don't know what goes through other people's minds, Goldberg. Truth is, he seemed more short-tempered than usual. But who isn't in this city? What are you doing here? Evans had some essential documents we needed in order to close the sale of the studio to the Japanese. The LA Chief of Police allowed me to go in and get them. Very kind of him. Hold on, you're selling the studio? That's the plan. They're in charge from now on. Lucky me, they want to keep the current corporate board. I had an appointment to talk about the project. Ah, yes. Well, let us talk about it, okay? As you know, Evans was the only one protecting your project from the rest of the executives. Now that he's gone, I'm afraid we won't be following through with the movie. Anyway, I don't think it would have been made even with Evans, now that the studio will be in the hands of the Japanese. They're more Godzilla than Kurosawa, if you know what I mean. The trend is action heroes like Stallone or Schwarzenegger, or otherwise movies like the ones Amblin is making. I'm afraid there won't be any room for high-budget dramas such as the ones you're proposing. We're grateful for Peter Evans' work. The studio pulled through its worst times thanks to him. But it's 1985, Goldberg. Teens rule the box office now. I hope you understand. Anyway, since you're here, I've got something to show you. I found this in the desk next to the office phone. Barry Landau pulls out a letter with a letterhead that reads, Flying Saucer Pictures. It seems to be a small, low-budget studio focused on fantasy or horror movies. You can't grasp why Evans committed suicide, but even less why this was in his office. Peter Evans despised this kind of small producers that capitalize on making exploitation movies instead of making art. It took a lot for you to stand up for yourself, given that you were responsible for several mass killer movies. Curious, isn't it? Evans dealing with this kind of scum. You know what? You can keep it. Your talents are more in line with this trash than our studio. I've proven I can be more than a slasher screenwriter. Let me remind you, I was an Oscar nominee. So was Cher last year. Take it, my hand's getting tired. I wish you much success in your career, Goldberg. You need it. Hollywood is changing. It's not the 70s anymore. Goodbye. If there is ever a chance to touch heaven in Hollywood again, it's gone. You're surprised to realize, though, that spending the rest of your career stuck in the B-movie business is the last thing you're worried about right now. Peter Evans was an important figure to you, not only because he believed in your project and tried to move heaven and earth to get it made. Peter Evans was the man you wanted to become. Wealthy, well-connected, and able to bring top-tier movie projects to life. Now he's dead. By his own hand. How's it possible for someone who had everything they wanted in life to end up like this? You look at the letter Barry Landau just gave you. Dear Mr. Evans, I don't know what you're talking about, indeed. I thus beg you to handle this in person. You will surely understand that this matter should be dealt with discreetly. Kind regards, Glenn Bishop. You marvel at Peter Evans' luxurious mansion, and still can't come to terms with the fact of his suicide. You can't understand what one of the most powerful executives in Hollywood could need from one of the most insignificant production companies in Los Angeles. Without the project that could have put you back in the spotlight with a script for a sequel that's going nowhere, and no desire to make anything else, you decide to delve into why someone like Evans did what he did. God damn it. I don't know what these dark pieces of text are saying. Yeah. Okay, nothing. I think we can all agree on that much. Officer Jackson has spent 25 years in the Los Angeles Police Department with a flawless service record. Happily married, his dream was to have a kid and get promoted to police inspector. The former was biologically impossible, and he enjoys patrolling the streets so much that he ended up letting go of the latter. We're still early on, but I know it's about this screenwriter who writes slasher movies, and my understanding is he ends up looking for a certain horror film, and things get creepy. But still early days. Officer? Sir? Can I go in? Of course not. It was worth a try. Hey, Dragon of the West. Thank you so much. Appreciate the lurk. And you guys should check out Dragon of the West. It's playing, was it Phasmophobia today? The Dark Pictures Anthology, The Devil in Me. That sounds fun. And creepy.
So here's a pleasant place to be with the weirdest stuff you'll ever see. Purblind Gamer, Twitch TV.
Thank you so much for the gift sub, Dragon. That's so kind of you. Haggard Hessian. Enjoy your emote session. Really appreciate it, Dragon. Oh, and thank you for contributing to the community challenge. I appreciate that too. So why did you allow Barry Landau inside? Your friend? The one who just left? He's not my friend. Yeah, I saw how glad he was to get rid of you. Orders from above. He seems to have a good relationship with the boss. Is that legal? Letting a civilian into a crime scene? No way. He could tamper with the scene. He would take vital evidence. He did, right under your nose. He took some papers. And I'll file a complaint. Don't worry about that. You could have denied him entry. I just told you. Orders from above. I'll file a complaint. Hey, how about we stop going in circles here? I'm aware this situation is anomalous, okay? What are you guarding exactly? The crime scene. I thought you all left once the place was sealed. Soon everyone will know a big fish from the movies blew his brains out, and this place will be crawling with journos. I don't know if you know them, but these guys will jump over fences for the chance to take a picture. I don't like the idea of standing here like one of those living statues on Sunset Boulevard. My thing is patrolling. But orders from above. Have a good day, sir. Ankizer. Ankhesenamun. Oh. Even though he disparaged horror movies, Evans named his mansion after 1932's The Mummy. Oh, Ankhesenamun. A tribute to the first movie he watched in the theater, and the one which made him fall in love with the seventh art. It's really one of my favorite horror movies. The original Mummy is amazing. Oops. No, I'm not trying to get out of here. Mind if I smoke? It's a Havana cigar. The only good things those communists have. Anyway, where to? Why waste time? Flying saucer pictures. Yep. I guess that's a taxi stand. That's odd. According to the letterhead, Flying Saucer Pictures office should be here. Talk to this gent. You can recognize a dealer from miles away, and this one is in particular is not making any efforts to hide it. Hey, friend. I don't know what they told you, buddy, but I don't sell anything. Nobody told me anything. I don't even know who you are and what you do for a living, though I can guess the latter. Oh, can you? What do you want, buddy? I'm looking for Flying Saucer Pictures offices. Flying what? This is 451 Roadside Avenue, right? Dunno. I guess, man. I think there should be an office here instead of this rubble. Oh yeah, fuck. The movies guy. What a fucking bastard. They say he was the one who caused the building to collapse, just so he could collect the insurance money. A gas leak or something. The asshole could have blown up half the street. You gotta be a real son of a bitch to do something like that, huh? Do you know where I can find this guy? His name is Glenn Bishop. No idea, man. Hope you'll find him, but behind bars. That's where he belongs. Do you know anybody who could point me to Glenn Bishop's whereabouts? The owner of the pawn shop, but he's not here right now. I think he's testifying at the police station. A problem with some jewels or something. He left his cousin in charge of the shop. But he's kinda dumb. Don't waste your time with him. What about the laundromat? Maybe they know something. You've never seen one of those? They're completely unmanned. You go in, insert a coin, and wash your clothes. Clearly, you have someone to do it for you. I think that's all. Okay, man. Oh, there's a train in the background. Oops. Your face seems familiar. Haven't I given you a ride before? I was trying to go into the pawn shop. God. Exit. Okay. There. Yeah. Don't need anything from Fred's pawn shop, but now you know where to find one such store in case you need it. Wait. Talk to these guys? Those guys are acting sketchy. Casually, you position yourself to eavesdrop on them. You pay attention to their conversation. Embarrassed, you step away from them when you realize the man on the right is trying to convince the other one that Missing in Action 2 was shot before the first part, but premiered afterwards. Crumbled walls, debris, pipe parts, and splintered wood. Not a trace of flying saucer pictures, though. We can't search through the rubble. Can't go into the laundromat. Oops. I guess we should go. But where? Hey friend, have you heard about Rock Hudson? Yeah. We're not going to do any more writing today. You think about showing a couple of them to the police. In particular, the one that threatens to shoot you with a sniper rifle, and the one whose author thinks that the best way of ending your life is planting a bomb in this very apartment. But you know they are probably written by some harmless, zit-ridden teenager too busy jerking off compulsorily to an Eliza poster. Spoke ill of somebody, and so her fans want us killed. The thing to do is to go to the office. I should give you a discount. Neil Gordon is a horror movie enthusiast who manages, writes, and publishes a small fanzine called Terror Zone. He thinks you are one of the best current horror screenwriters, and he's dying to interview you. But reading your words in a magazine made of loosely stapled photocopies does not match your concept of an interview. Okay, so I'm a bit of a snob. Are you busy? Always am. What do you need? Any messages for me? A couple of Eliza fans called. Did they now? What the hell do they want? To see you dead. Seriously, Alan, what did you do to that girl? Nothing. I just said in an interview that she doesn't care about horror movies. Just like you. And that the only reason she's on TV is to show skin so her idiotic fans can jerk off. No. I remember that interview now. You foresaw a good career for her as a stripper if they canceled her show. Damn right. Always making friends. Any other messages? Yes. The guy from Astounding FX wants to meet you. Astounding FX? What the heck is that? They're the new makeup effects company we've hired for Lunatic 2. They're really good. Good for them. They've turned down working on the sequel to A Nightmare on Elm Street to make our movie, just because you wrote it. Oh, really? What an honor. Come on, Alan, don't be like that. Just stop by. They want to show you the new look for the Lunatic and get your thumbs up. They could make the Lunatic wear a William Shatner mask for all I care. Have Christopher give them the go-ahead. They're in high demand, and they cut their rates to work on the film. So drop by, let them show you whatever they want to show you, and take a picture with them with that lovely forced smile of yours. Is that an order? No, but these guys deserve a thank you. Mark and Wayne are a charm. Do it for me, would you? Fine, I'll see what I can do. Does our character ever smile? Any ideas about the third act? You've never asked for advice on your scripts. That's interesting. What's the issue with the ending? The confrontation is identical to the original. Everything happens on the docks in exactly the same way. Let's see. We've got the Greer family, right? They have to do with the origins of the lunatic. We said we'd leave that for the next sequel. Don't worry about that. Just plan the action there, reveal the origins of the character, and move the climax to the barn. You'll come up with something for the next one. Bingo. Problem solved. But you're not going to get around to it today. I need to clear my mind. It'll do you good. What is... There was again, something flew across the screen. Alan! I've heard the news. What a shame, huh? Indeed. What does that mean your project? Fucked up. Yeah. Hey, WireBrain. Welcome in. Oh, thank you for the contribution, Big Fatty. Yeah, I am enjoying it so far. Fun characters, and I love the setting, and I love the references to horror movies. Some of which I'm sure I'm not getting. Thank you for recommending it. How's your day going, WireBrain? I don't want to sound callous at a time like this, but this is good news for Ruskin Productions. Our Alan isn't going anywhere anytime soon. I don't have much of a choice. Oh, come on. Don't be like that. Do you know what I was staring at through the window when you got here? The city at your feet, right? Makes you feel powerful. You're impossible. Come here. Look towards Sunset Strip. That billboard ad on the corner by Tower Records. What do you see? A brown and blue blot. Come on, man. What do you want me to see? The sun's reflecting off the window and I can't see a damn thing. It's the lunatic poster. On Sunset Boulevard. Do you know what that means? We can afford it. We're making big money thanks to you. Do you know where I've been today? Surprise me. In a meeting with Toy Neck, they're releasing an action figure line of horror monsters. And you know who's going to be the star? The lunatic. They're all along the same lines, Alan. Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, and thanks to the movie's success, they want your creation to be the star figure. Isn't that wonderful? A lunatic toy. Wonderful. I know it's not the figurine you'd like to have in your hands, but we're on the way, Alan. We'll soon be able to afford higher budget movies, as well as other genres. A day will come when you can write anything you want, and I will gladly produce it. But the success of horror movies is what will allow us to take bigger risks. It's pretty straightforward, right? I'm sick of writing the same thing over and over, Christopher. That's all. I know. But you're good at it. We've won awards thanks to you, and I'm not letting you go. And now, if you'll allow me, I'm going to keep admiring our future. Is it possible he killed Evans to make sure that I wouldn't leave? Oh, look at everything. Yeah, thanks, WireBrain. I have been looking at most of the characters. It does give us useful stuff. Do you have a moment? Sure. First of all, how's the script going? Remember to do whatever you want with it. You know there won't be any sort of interference on my part. I trust you completely. Oh. Oh, yeah. Yeah, look at a bunch of stuff. The posters are fun. I had to look at some of those earlier. Don't go in the woods. Shoot. Branching dialogue. Yeah, President's Day. It's time to vote. This year, you elected to die. I've got issues with the third act. Nothing I can't fix. Good old writer's block, huh? Think of something shocking. You've got time. There's still a month to go before we start shooting. What did you want to tell me? Does Glenn Bishop ring any bells? Glenn Bishop. He's got a small production company, Flying Saucer Pictures. I recall some RKO producer from the 40s. Are we talking about the same person? No, I don't think so. Does Crosby always have to be here? Ah, well, let's drop it, okay? I don't mind a star hanging around this office. It bothers me that they try to recruit everyone and their mother into their cult. You know what? Sometimes I wonder if it would be a good idea to join them. Are you serious? Isn't all that pseudoscience you believe in enough for you? They have power in Hollywood, Alan. Lots of power. They could help Ruskin Productions take off for good. Look, I don't want to hear it. It's just an idea. I don't think I'll do it. We're gonna strike it rich, Alan. Oh, sights like out the window. The preferences for horror fans are clear. Blood and breasts. About the use of the word tits, we decided at the last minute it was too risque. What's in here? Oh, a script library. Oh, script. Closet. If there's anything... Yeah, I don't know anything about a flying saucer. Yeah. No messages. There. Wait. It might have been a bug, like a dragonfly or something that keeps flying past. So, right. Let's talk to Neil Gordon. I told you I wasn't going to grant you an interview, so you can leave the bench free for whoever needs it. Oh, it's a little bird on the windowsill. Okay. You made that pretty clear last time, Mr. Goldberg. It's hard to forget. You were quite blunt. But I'm not here for you. I'm trying to interview Christopher Ruskin. Couldn't you... No. Good talk. And this... It's good. Even if he knows. Ask everybody I can about flying saucer. And there's the exit. Jack has probably taken anything that could be useful from there already. Dave Morrison, the marketing officer for Phantasm Cycles, reads with bewilderment that Route 66 is not a part of the U.S. numbered system highway anymore. Part of his new campaign is based on the relevance of that historical route. You look, I mean, we just got the letter that, what's his name, the other executive gave us when Evans killed himself. You said you were a screenwriter, didn't you? I've got an idea for a movie. I'll tell you on the way. No. No, thank you. Pass. What the? What? Brains. More brains. Shit. I told Pam I didn't want to come here, damn it. Brains. Look, pal, I don't have time for your antics. Open the door. I'm leaving. Knock it off, Gabe. Okay. And put some music on. What a party pooper. Sorry, buddy. We do it to everyone who comes in here. Again with that, Gabe. Why did we even buy the Twisted Sister album, then? Bah. Wow, you're an iceberg. You didn't even flinch. Just a moment. I'm going to get some light in. Well, what can I do for Alan Goldberg? Oh wow, I didn't recognize you with that beard, man. It's a pleasure to have you here. Come with me. What do you think of the lunatic's new look? Rad, right? We're using a translucent material that withstands light very well and gives a sensation of real skin on camera. It allows for deeper coloring, whereas the other materials, you're limited to superficial color layer. We're among the very first ones to use it, although I think Gordon Smith is also experimenting with it. So do you like it? Do we have your thumbs up? Honestly, the only thing that interests you about writing horror scripts is collecting your paycheck once the job is done. The look of the lunatic is impressive, but you feel exactly the same as if it were a sock with 2 balls for eyes, operated by a puppeteer. Yes, you have my blessing. Wow, it's such an honor. I don't know if you know this, but we took this job instead of the Nightmare on Elm Street sequel because of you, man. You write awesome movies. For me, you are the best horror screenwriter nowadays. Oh, yeah? Yeah, dude. Wayne's a little pissed because he thinks Freddy Krueger is going to be a new horror movie icon. Fuck Wayne and fuck Freddy Krueger. The lunatic is the new Michael Myers, huh? Well, since you're here, can we take a picture with you? You have been to a couple of horror film conventions, and forcing a smile while posing for pictures with fans is just as awkward as embarrassing for you as walking down the street naked. Some other time, okay? No problem, man. For some reason I thought I selected go ahead. Well, make yourself at home, pal. I'm going to keep working on an effect that will make Ruskin shit his pants when he sees it. I'll be around if you need me, okay, man? Every night I rock myself to sleep. It makes you want to touch it and see that it's not a poor, deformed bastard taking a nap, rather than a spectacular special effect. You have no idea what that is. It's for Charles Band of Empire Pictures. He put an order for the most disgusting mass of meat ever to be seen on screen. Gross, huh? It's Gabe's work. Who? The zombie that greeted you. Charles Band, unless I'm mistaken, was the guy who would go on to found Full Moon and do such cult classics as The Puppet Master and Seed People and I don't know. There were others. I saw some of his movies. Arena. That was kind of an interesting one. Okay, this is before his Full Moon days. Right, 'cause I think I remember he did the first Trancers movie before Full Moon. I know because back in like 2010, the local video store was getting rid of their horror VHS, and I might have bought the entire Trancers series on VHS. All 6 of them. This game. Yeah, I agree, FRMAES. It does have pretty good production. The graphics and the sound and everything. How are you doing tonight? Yeah, I mean, I still have to watch them, but I bought them. So, yeah. That was the same day I bought a science fiction movie called Nuki, which would be one of the worst $2 I ever spent. Except that copies are now selling for over $100. Why was I not speculating when I had the chance? Oh, nice. How are you enjoying Dragon Age Origins? I appreciate the lurk. A full body cast of actress Janine Palmer, on which Mark is sculpting bird skin for the film Harriet II, Spontaneous Combustion. I'm not familiar with that one. That's the thing with this game, you don't know what's stuff that is real and you just aren't familiar with, and what's stuff they just made up. Yeah. Can't talk to Gabe the zombie. The impressive zombie was the work of Wayne Bartalos in an attempt to convince George A. Romero that astounding could make creatures worthy of appearing in his apocalyptic films. Oh, you played it when it came out, but you really like it. That's great. However, Romero preferred to stick with local Pittsburgh talent, such as the celebrated Tom Savini or the emerging Greg Nicotero. Yeah, Tom Savini was famous with makeup. And he was also in that movie The Ripper, which was shot on video, early shot on video feature. Oh, you've heard of Nuki? Makes Mac and me and Bod People look like good ET movies, yeah. Now, after I bought that, like somebody put it in this spite bag for the Sci-Fi Club in undergrad, and we ended up watching it one video feast. That was the one that had the quote, "Huh, a computer with emotions. I'll have to report this to IBM." I would not recommend that movie. Actually, Harriet 2 is one of the made-up ones. Betsy is a realistic corpse who has had more gigs this year than some actors. She appeared floating in a swamp in Dark Lake 3, inside a locker in Hello Mary Sue, and hanging from deer antlers in Cabin Horror. Wait, Hello Mary Sue. Oh no, the sequel to Prom Night was Hello Mary Lou. I know my slashers, or at least have seen them in video stores years ago. Lots of masks. Yeah, we should introduce Vicky to Betsy. Maybe she'll learn something. Yeah. We can't show him the letter. Okay. If it's on screen or features a character, it's fictional, but the things they discuss involve real movies and studios and actors. That's pretty cool. The people who know it, it makes it feel more realistic. Do you only work on horror films? Yeah, man. We've turned down some big non-genre projects. Horror is our passion. We didn't get into this because we were inspired by Barbara Streisand's makeup growing up, you know. So they're horror fans. Exactly what we hate. Have you been doing this for long? Makeup my whole life. My mother says that when I was 2 years old, I was already zombifying my toys. Professionally, about 4 years. Things have gone well for me. So you're horror fans. Fans? Horror films are our passion. When we're not working, we travel to horror conventions and festivals to soak ourselves in the genre. We love horror films. Their history, we know everything about them. I wonder what that weird sparkling effect is. Yeah, I agree. It definitely makes it feel like part of the era. They really do well with that. Hey, we took a paintbrush. Should I just be trying to click on everything that's not nailed down? If a fire were to break out, the extinguisher could save the business and even the lives of those who work here. Agreed, Big Fatty. I love the look of pixel graphics. And so many great games with those. And you know, the games with pixel graphics tend to age better because, you know, you look at something like Plurgberg Dark Ages and it's like, yeah, this could have come out with a retro look in 2020. So you work in the movies, huh? Do you know Sylvester Stallone? Agreed. It was more of a consideration when I was streaming from my laptop. Like, pixel graphics don't stain the GPU. Apparently my boss actually met Sylvester Stallone at some point. Gunbull's still there. Do I like horror movies? I love them. Have you seen The Mutilator? Yeah, a toaster could run them. A Raspberry Pi could run them. Heck, I wonder if my own Windows 95 computer could run them. I mean, if it's made in AGS, and it obviously is if they had a big blue cup. It would be a wonderfully trolling thing to put a big blue cup in a game that isn't made in that. Oh, that's cool. The cop is in one of their previous games. I love that. It's like how Detective Durkin from the Blackwell series had previously appeared in the Shiva. Yeah, I'll have to check out the developer's other stuff. we ask? Yeah, same here. The cameos when it's like the games are in a shared universe. Alan, my favorite screenwriter. How can I help? Yeah, he goes on about his cult again. Oh, they've got an itch page. Oh, thanks. Ask Pam. Any other messages? No one else called. Urban witch story. Like a supernatural police quest. Interesting. I haven't played Police Quest, but after watching some people, other people play it, like I think Ghoul Babe and Captain Peel Card, it seems damned hard. Let me ask him more about Flying Saucer. Yeah. Oh nice, you can double click to fast travel. Yeah. The one on the right is Frank Rooker from Berkeley. From Berkeley, Rooker and Jones, whose offices are on the 8th floor. The one on the left is one of their youngest and most promising lawyers, Jack Jordan. Or Stephen Hartnett. You don't know. All those young lawyers with their slick back hair look the same to you. You don't need a lawyer, unless you get yourself in a mess. Marketing dude doesn't want to chat. I came to Hollywood to be an actor. I'm still on it. Is there some other clue here? I'm trying the pawn shop again. Fred's Pawn Shop has a great stock of VCRs, stereo devices, Atari video game consoles, mixing consoles, and car radio cassettes. Most of them are stolen. That might be the reason the police often visits this establishment to clarify the source of his products. Yeah. Don't need anything. Is that? Oh, I think it's an electric guitar in the window. Do any more eavesdropping? Gentleman in Yellow. Is that a King in Yellow reference? Or, oh, you mean the dealer guy? Yeah, we talked to him. Oh, okay, there's a guitar. Cool. Yeah, we talked to this guy before. You again? What do you want, man? I think that's all. So we know that this place burned down. Or there was a gas leak. Yeah, there was a gas leak, and the dealer thinks that Gary Bishop did it on purpose. And we can't talk to the pawn shop owner because he's you would fix the Cold War in a week. Yeah, we tried to talked to them and we just eavesdropped on their conversation. It was something about one of them thought that the sequel, or Missing in Action 2, was shot before Missing in Action, but released second. Put a surprising amount of effort into this DJ. Alright, we need quarters. Oh, that's the cash register. Vicky, what do you want, Alan? Oh, I'm gonna try asking again. Can I know what I said during dinner? You should know. I should, but the thing is I don't. Then try to remember. I was drunk. Try talking to a journalist. What's up, Mac? Wow, you're alive. I was already thinking that the police had knocked down your door and found the cat eating your corpse. I don't have a cat. I hate them. Though it would be a good end for me. Feeling optimistic today, are we? I'm glad to see you, friend. What can I help you with? What are you writing? A review of the new Twilight Zone. Oh right, they did that reboot in the 80s. I already know that you're going to reply, but I know a couple of guys at CBS who owe me some favors. Aren't you interested in writing an episode for the series? You want me to work in TV? I don't want to end my days being a TV writer. Come on, Alan. TV is changing. Even William Friedkin directed an episode. And maybe in the future you'll have more freedom writing for TV than for the movies. I know practically everyone in the job, and you could shine there. I appreciate it, but I won't insist. But if you ever change your mind, here I am. Mac knows people, wordmonger. Maybe if you worked in TV, you wouldn't complain so much. Oh, shut up. Oh, wow. Wes Craven directed 7 episodes of the 1980s Twilight Zone. Yeah, they got some impressive directors. I see somebody's happy to see me. Why shouldn't I? Why wouldn't I? Okay, you mean Joe. He thinks highly of you, but you know him. Are you... you're referring to Vicky. I'm not meddling in other people's affairs. We're not a couple. You would be if you weren't so... whatever. It's none of my business. Impressive talent. Behind and in front of the camera. The original Twilight Zone had some impressive talent, too. A lot of actors who had done great things and went on to do great things. Remember, we were watching one episode and my father recognized Ron Howard. Like before his Andy Griffith days, I think. And the writers. He had some really good writers. You don't need anything from Billy. Let him enjoy his burger. Oh, we could... Oh, he's in several episodes. Yeah, Richard Matheson and Harlan Ellison. Oh, that was Billy Muni. I remember I had a friend, like an older friend, the guy who encouraged me to go to film school, actually, who used to see Ralph Ellison at the barber shop regularly. He said, not Ralph Ellison, Harlan Ellison. And he said that, but he was blanking on his name, but he said, that guy who had several of his stories transformed into Twilight Zone episodes. It reminds me, I still haven't played I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. Probably because an icebox copy would run me $250. Oh, Harlan Ellison didn't have any stories in the Twilight Zone. It was more the Outer Limits. Damn. It's embarrassing. I might have told a company I interned with in like a previous internship from like 2018 that his stories provided the basis for Twilight Zone episodes. Whatever. If they haven't read the damn report, they'll probably just think I meant Outer Limits. Because I'm a millennial. I can't tell these 60s sci-fi shows together. There's one step beyond. Tom Corbett's Space Cadet. Star Trek. Definitely Star Trek. And Harlan Ellison became a famous grumpy old man. I think where else we can go. Man, Fred's in court testifying. We could ask Officer Jackson if he knows anything about that. It's a long shot. Blowing through my paycheck on cabs. We ever asked him this? What happened in there? Nothing good. That guy, the movie guy, blew his brains out. You need to have a pair for that, don't you think? Do you know if he left a suicide note? You watch a lot of movies, don't you? Actually, I write them. More than 90% of people who commit suicide don't leave any notes. It's a myth. Still, did he leave one? Why are you asking all these questions? Are you a journalist? No, I'm a screenwriter. I already told you. Have you written something I may have watched? Does Melodies of Heaven ring any bells? Are you kidding? You wrote that movie? What a snoozer. Mary, my wife, made me go watch it with her. I fell asleep. And that's my review. It's okay. She liked it, though. I shouldn't be talking about this with you, you know. It's strictly police business. But to hell with that. If I can tell Mary I've been talking to the writer of Melodies of Heaven. We're having some communication issues lately. This way we'll have something to talk about. As for the note... No, he didn't leave one. Anything else you want to know? After all that... Was it really a suicide? Mm-hmm. You mean whether someone murdered him and made it pass for a suicide, right? I can see your screenwriter's mind at work. I'm afraid to disappoint you. But everything seems to suggest suicide. No doors or windows forced. According to my colleagues, the position in which he was holding the rifle looked normal. Rifle? Huh. Yeah. Tips of the fences are made of real gold, but it's just golden paint. Your motivation to keep fighting is to become one of them, but alive, of course. Think, is there anything else here? I'll be to my apartment in a bit. Sometimes a celebrity hops on my taxi. Last week I gave Tom Hanks a ride. Yeah, the one from Bachelor Party. Don't know it yet? Very funny. You see, there's this scene in which a donkey... God, now the dark text is on a dark background. VHS editions of all the movies you've written sit on the shelf. Pam makes sure to send you a copy 2 days before each domestic format releases. What, no beta? I've already read that issue of Fangoria. George A. Romero tries to milk the success of Night of the Living Dead for a third time. A theatrical director from Chicago makes his movie debut with an adaptation of H.P. Lovecraft's short story for Charles Band's Empire. Wonder which Lovecraft movie that is. I don't think if which Lovecraft movies I've seen. I'm not going to figure it out. Lastly, an interview with Jenna Dreyfus, the Scream Queen from Campfire Psycho, in which, among other things, she talks trash about you. It's because I insulted Eliza, isn't it? Cemetery of Bad Ideas. Christopher Ruskin insisted that you had to get with the times, so he bought you a brand new IBM PC 5150 with a text processor. However, you still prefer to write your scripts the traditional way. You can't imagine working without the relaxing sound of keys banging against the typewriter roller. If there's anything else I can look at. Oh, books. You already know the books by heart. There's the mug. There's a paintbrush. I don't know why, other than that it wasn't nailed down. Some of my colleagues may offer you a tour of the stars. Don't accept, it's illegal. Yeah, I'll take a hint. It's kind of trying to figure out where to go at this point. I feel like I've talked to just about everybody other than Gabe the zombie. to them. Let's see if this just repeats the same dialogue. So you're horror fans. Fans? Horror films are our passion. When we're not working, we travel to horror conventions and festivals to soak ourselves in the genre. We love the horror films, their history. We know everything about them. Maybe if we talk to Gabe. Oh, they're diehard fans. Look at the masks. If you were the least bit interested in the low-budget horror films of the last few years, you would realize that on the top shelf rests authentic prosthetic milestones such as Demon from 555 Evil, as opposed to 976, the Elf from Maniac Troll, or the ripped-off face from one of the victims of the lycanthrope from Moon Madness. Yeah, there's a devil. For a token price, I can take you on a tour around the Stars mansions. What do you say? Don't you want to know where Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn live? I didn't know Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn lived together. Scandal. Talked to Jack recently, haven't we? How's the day going? Nothing yet, but I've just gotten started. Why are you begging in a place like this? I don't like to hustle from common people. It's hard enough for them to make a living. But here, look at all those yuppies. Check out their hands. Look, they're perfect. Most of them waste so much money on manicures. They do fuck all. They make all their money through speculation. If I've got to fleece someone, I'd rather it be them. These people are not the kind to give handouts, Jack. They don't even see you. That's what you think. Check this out. You all cheer for USA, for Africa, and all those stars going, "We are the world," but fuck those of us standing right here. Hypocrites. There, mister. Try not to waste it on booze. I'd waste it on cocaine like you do, but I don't think I'd be able to afford it. Have a good day. Wow. $5. That's my day made. See? Yeah, he does sound bitter. Letter? Wait. I don't want to write it down, damn it. Yeah, we got that. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was thinking, but I don't think it lets you show the letter around. Oh, we checked out his fanzine? No, we didn't. We're lying. I checked out your fanzine. Oh, yeah? I skimmed it before trashing it. Most kind of you. Judging by what I read, you do write quite well. Quite well. You've got talent, kid. Why do you waste it writing about these kinds of movies? Do you want some advice? Take your writings and bring them to Variety or The Hollywood Reporter. You'll land a job. But please get a haircut and wear something else. Don't go in there looking like that. You tell me how to dress, what to write about. Anything else? Yes. Take off those earrings. Are you going to wait here all day? It's my day off. When I see Mr. Ruskin come out, I'll try to get my interview. I hope he's nicer than you. It's about the earrings comment, isn't it? Keep asking. Oh, that's different, isn't it? What's your interest in Ruskin? I'm working on a special issue about new horror movie producers. Christopher Ruskin is one of them. Don't kid yourself. Ruskin's no more than a producer of exploitations. He doesn't give a damn about horror cinema. You think so? I work for him. If he didn't give a damn about horror movies, he wouldn't have you as his screenwriter. You ready yourself to answer with a conclusive, I'm not a horror movie screenwriter. But that's what you are. Or give his new movies larger and larger budgets. Or hire the best up-and-coming VFX technicians out there. He knows what he's doing. Good luck then. I hope Ruskin won't send you packing, which is what I'd do. I don't think so. Brian Usna didn't. Neither did Robert Shia, Glenn Bishop, or Charles Band. Producers tend to be nicer than certain screenwriters. Hold on. Did you say Glenn Bishop? Glenn Bishop, yeah. Do you know where I can find him? Are you serious? He makes video movies. Very low budget ones. If you want to waste your time, so be it. But I would keep working for Ruskin Productions. It's not that. I just want to talk with him about certain matters. I'll ask again. Do you know where I can find him? And don't tell me Roadside Avenue. No, he's not there anymore. He had some problems with a gas leak. Or at least that's what he tried to convince me of. Rumor has it that he already had a new office when the accident happened. So he's now at... Let's make a deal. Get me an interview with Ruskin and I'll tell you where to find Bishop. Tell me and I'll talk to Ruskin. Do you think I was born yesterday? Given your age, almost. How old are you exactly, kid? 20. Do me that favor, Mr. Goldberg. Ruskin is not going to grant an interview to a fanzine. This is my offer. I've got a lot to do. Why don't you just tell me where to find Bishop? When you talk to Christopher Ruskin about giving you an interview. Sure. Oops. I'm in a Sunset Boulevard sign again. Thanks. Yeah. No, I appreciate you pointing me back and Tell me to keep asking him. There's a kid who wants to interview you. Oh, yeah? Variety? The Hollywood Reporter? Some fanzine. Ah, some fanzine. Not interested. The kid adores you. I don't know why, but he does. Oh, yeah? He says you're more than just a producer of exploitations. That you know what you're doing. Of course I am. I try to hire the best. Those were his words. Yeah? And now he knows how to write. And he knows how to write. He's as good as any film journalist you may know, maybe even better. And damn, does he know how to negotiate. You know what, Alan? Lately I've been thinking about hiring a press officer. That would free Pam up a bit. She already has a lot on her plate. You say this kid's good? Check for yourself. Accept the interview. Every time I've trusted your gut, it's been good for me, so yes, you can tell him to come by. Alright, but not today. It's been a busy day. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. Is that okay? Whatever suits you best. Settled then. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. Oh, I get it. Off to the races, big fatty. Took me a minute.
Born to run all night, born to run all day. I bet my money on the bobtail's nag, somebody bet on the bay.
Ruskin agreed to the interview. Really? I put in a good word for you. He's even thinking about hiring you as his press officer. I'm not interested. I already have a job. What do you do for a living? I'm a mechanic. Well, an assistant mechanic. How much do you make a month? It doesn't matter. Don't answer. Ruskin would double it, even triple it. If I accept the job, it would conflict with my reviews of any movie by the production company. And you're not a sellout, right? Damn right. Is that fanzine that important for you? It's my whole life. Are you listening to yourself? You have the chance to earn a ton of money, work for an up-and-coming production company, and attend horror movie shoots. Are you going to miss out on that? Anybody interested in the horror genre would kill for a job like that. You can balance the job and the fanzine. Okay, I'll think about it. When do I get to interview him? Tomorrow, 10 a.m. Thanks a lot, Mr. Goldberg. And now, where do I find Glenn Bishop? Mansfield Avenue, number 13. Great. I'd thank you if I hadn't had to barter. This is Hollywood. I guess that can be used to justify anything. Anyway, I've nothing else to do here. I'm off, Mr. Goldberg. Thanks for your help. Try to dress decently tomorrow, not like a criminal. It's an interview. I know. A job interview. And take off those earrings. Now I don't want to talk to the marketing bastard. I'm trying to exit. I'm on it, you son of a bitch. No, not talking to you. Was just shouting at the spaz behind us. Alan is a grouch, but he cares. Yeah, definitely kind of pushy. I don't give a damn if you did everything you could, Tony. Your job is to do the impossible. No. No! Why the hell am I going to find? Who the hell are you? How did you get in here? My name is Alan Goldberg. The door was open. Tony, give me a minute. No, don't hang up. Are you here to help? What? Do you want to help? Because if you haven't come to help, you can get the hell out of here. I wanted to talk to you about Peter Evans. Ah, yes, the poor bastard. I just heard about it. Oops. The harder they fall, huh? He was just here last week. That's what I wanted to talk to you about. Now is not a good time. My director couldn't think of anything else to do but to celebrate the start of the shoot of Bloody Cabin 2 with the lead actress last night. And you know how? By overdosing on speedball. Do you know what a speedball is? Good old John Belushi sure did. Wow, too soon, bro. And you know how he ended up? Dead. Which is how these two poor bastards will end up if they don't make it out of the intensive care unit. Serves me right for hiring goddamn junkies. So, Mr. Goldberg, Alan Goldberg, I have a film crew standing around with their arms crossed, and I myself am on the verge of a nervous breakdown, so unfortunately, I am unable to assist you at this time. I might be able to help. Oh yeah? How? I am a screenwriter. I work for Ruskin Productions. I have contacts. Ah, you are in the business. Just a sec. Tony, are you still there? Good, because I am considering making changes to Flying Saucer Pictures. Would you like to work for me, Mr. Goldman? Goldberg, no, I'm sorry. I work for Ruskin Productions. I've already told you. Just a sec. Tony! Fire you? Who's talking about firing you? So you want to help? Good. I need a director with experience. One who won't waste my time. If you find one, send her directly to 1864 Kenmore Avenue. Have him skim through the script and start shooting. I'll talk to him later about the money. I need an actress as well, but I need to see her first. Does she have a photo book? I don't care if she can act or not. If she does, so much the better. But that's not important. You understand what I'm looking for, right? Oh, and one more thing. I need both of them. No actress, no movie. No director, no movie either. And if they're not unionized, so much the better. You say you have contact, huh? I trust you. And now if you'll excuse me. Tony! There's a guy here who's going to solve this issue. I should pay him instead of you just for trying. What? Put that idiot on the phone. Good talk. The early days of Flying Saucer Pictures were characterized by exploiting the less crowded genres, which roused the most basic instincts of the audience. It's going to be a porn, isn't it? In the mid-60s, Bishop produced a number of nude... It actually is porn. Produced a number of nudies. They were films with lightly dressed girls running around on set and nothing more. Okay. We're not talking stag here. In the 70s, he joined the trend of films about women's prisons. The plot mattered a bit more here, but not so much as to give up on the idea of showing scantily clad girls. Going to show an insert with the poster, or is that TOS? Even though they were shot on film and screened in theater, you don't think of these films as real cinema. I swear, I'm not trying to go into the smut business. I had no idea this was in the game. Now, let's just remember, guys, we try to keep this a family-friendly stream and no sexual content. We're one step removed from a Christian Minecraft server. Didn't you once play Ecstatica? Shut the fuck up, Airplane Lion! There was that mermaid in Haunting of Cliff House. Do you want to keep going? Because we can keep going all night.
Playing those Halloween fan games my mind dark.
Okay, I should have seen that one coming. But other than that, I have never played a game on stream that I consciously knew was overtly sexual and obscene.
Leather goddesses of Phobos.
Go! Go! Get some roast beef for yourself, Airplane Lion. Stop ruining my stream. Jeez. I think I took the Bikini Karate Babes redeem off the channel points rewards. But that is interesting that other directors, B-movie directors, did that, going into sexual exploitation movies, like into the 80s, or 70s and 80s. Didn't feel like Roger Corman had a film that was not that risque, but had a surprising amount of nudity for the time. My dad told me about it. It was something about humanoids, unless I'm getting confused. Could ask his grandniece if I ever see her again. Even though they were shot, no. We're just bashing exploitation again. Post-apocalyptic zombie. A great illustration. So much so that the zombie in the poster looks better than the one in the movie. Oh, film scans. Oh, thanks. Is that a link? Oh, you clipped it. Oh, thank you, Big Fatty. I need more clips. Been lax. I used to try and get one clip out of every stream. I've gotten lax about that lately. So Twitch changed the way they show clips on your page. I need to write and complain. The arrival of video has been a blessing for Flying Saucer Pictures. Not only does Glenn Bishop get to save up on celluloid, but also on the developing process. What is this, 85? They actually have? I'm trying to remember. I think that was right around when they had the first shot on video movie. Where's that? I thought it was slightly later. Anyway. The glasses are dirty and there are only a couple of fingers of liquor left in the bottle. The contrast with Ruskin Productions. Where's the exit? Oh. I thought that was a poster. It was the door. Have you thought about taking fewer cabs? You'd get fit. If you want, I can lend you the Workout by Jane Fonda VHS. Her exercises are very easy. You get to see Jane Fonda in the office every day. We actually got to recruit Vicky. What's that? Oh, Steam achievement. Discover. We got a music video. Vicky? What do you want, Alan? Would you like to act in a movie? Would you like to win an Oscar? Of course. What kind of a question is that? There's a guy looking for an actress. Yes, but it's a cheap production and... Yes! Let me finish, because I don't want you to get your hopes up. It's a very low-budget horror movie, and I can't say for sure, but you will most likely have to get naked. After all this time, that's all you got for Vicky. Getting her to flash her boobs in a horror movie? Don't listen to him, Alan. Tell me more. Shame on you, Mr. Hollywood. They need an actress now. Today? More like right now. Although the producer, Glenn Bishop, has to give his approval first. I think I remember you had a photo book made, right? Yeah, a week ago. As I was leaving a casting call, a guy approached me. His name was Barry Mitchell. He said he was a photographer and that he was smitten by my beauty. He offered to make me a very affordable book in exchange for using one of my photos on the facade of his business. It sounded like a reasonable offer, so I agreed. When the session was over, he dropped his pants and said it was time to pay. The pig. Son of a bitch. What a scumbag. Where can I find this guy? What are you planning to do? Break his legs. I'll come with you, Alan. I'm not going to break anyone's legs. I'm just getting that photo book. Chicken. Oh, that's what's on the menu today, Joe. His studio is on Vine Street, next to bus stop 117. I'm going to get you in that movie, okay? That would be great, Alan. Just watch out for that guy, yeah? Seriously, you don't want us to go there and break that guy's legs? No, Joe. Violence is the last resort of... Thanks. Have you seen all those girls dressed like Madonna? Fashion? No, lack of personality. So, let's go to, what's his name, Barry's place, and Barry Mitchell, and let's break his legs, or at least get a bottle out of the trash can and hit him over the head with it. Geez, someone else smoking. Oh right, it's the 80s. Frank Hodge has tried everything to quit smoking. A friend recommended he visit Dr. Carlos Ramirez about his all-natural anti-smoking therapy. Right now, he's happily burning through his last pack before going inside, in case this method works as well as he's been told. Yeah, a few suplexes. Waiting for a cab, friend? The guy just shakes his head and keeps staring into the void. Interesting, so they tell you about even people you don't know. Oh, look like Charlie Chaplin. Oh, Chaplin and Marilyn, two of the most famous ambassadors of old Hollywood. Damn it. Not only did the bastard harass Vicky and leave her without a photo book, but on top of that, he's using her picture on the facade without her consent. Although in all honesty, the magnetism that Vicky gives off in these photos is irresistible. The pig knows how to do his job. So, I guess you yank down the poster and take it to Bishop. You inspect the photo display. There's a small lock on the metal frame. Damn, they probably expected as much. You take a look through the gap. There are a couple of suspicious photographs next to a note. You try to stick your finger through the slot, but barely manage to graze the photograph. You stick the brush through the gap and get to touch the pictures with it. But there's no way to take them out using just the brush. Of course not. Did you have a good time at the session, Candy? I think you probably enjoyed it more. You're gonna be a star, babe. When will you develop the photos, Barry? I'll get right on it. I'll call you to celebrate as soon as I have the photo book ready. Will you take me to dinner? Dinner? We're going to celebrate right here. But not on the couch. It fucks up my knees. Wow, what a well-groomed beard. Casting agent? No. Director? No. Screenwriter. Sorry. In that case, get out of the way. Agreed. This guy does look like a sleaze. What do you want, man? Just so you know, I don't take pictures of guys. Barry Mitchell, I suppose. Yeah, what do you want? To begin with, you should pull up your fly. Oh, he wasn't kidding. I'm here to get back Vicky Hoff's photo book. Vicky who? The redhead you're displaying on the facade without her consent. Ah, yes. A beauty. She left without paying, by the way. It's the first time something like that has happened to me, so tell her that I still have her book in case she has second thoughts. I can pay you, but don't get your hopes up. I'm not candy. It's not about money, pal. Oh, we know. I'm loaded. Give me a number. You don't get it, do you? I'm flush with cash, man. You can't even imagine the kind of life I lead. In this line of business, I get to enjoy two of my biggest passions, photography and women. No one takes better photos than me, and until your friend came along, no one had been able to resist me. And you know what? Sooner or later, I'll end up banging the redhead. They all end up falling for me. So all the money in the world can't pay for that book, buddy. My very pride is at stake. There's a director who would like to see Vicky's book. Come on, give me a chance. Man, I wouldn't give that book to the Pope himself. Give me that photo book now. Oh yeah? Or else what? I feel like Joe is a force to be reckoned with. I have a chef friend who is eager to break your legs. Let him try. I'll be here. I close at 10 o'clock, by the way. If you don't make it in time, you can come by tomorrow. Don't use that tone of voice with me. I have contacts. I have contacts too. Anything else? I can tell everyone what you do here. My legs are shaking. Don't you know where you are, man? Do you think I'm the only one in Hollywood who does this? Wake up. I can fuck up your life. You don't look like you're fucking up anyone's life. Well, my own. Bah. Get out of my business. I need to get those things out of there, but how? God, I have no idea what color that is, but it's abysmal. Whatever the font is. It tells you what your cursor's on. Line 17 runs close to the places you have already been. It is red. You know, I guess at least it's not red on black, but it's still damned awful. Good evening. Do you have an appointment with Dr. Ramirez? No. Would you like me to check if there's a free slot for today? It's alright, I was just looking. As you like. If you need help, do not hesitate to ask me. It's been 3 years since Rose left her position as a nursing assistant at the Martin Luther King Hospital. Too many back-to-back shifts to support her family took a toll on her health. Now she enjoys a more relaxed job with Dr. Ramirez. A series of images of the countryside play on a loop, supposedly with the intention of selling the perks of living in nature. However, between the burnt image and the glassy-eyed actors, the whole thing gives off a sleazy vibe that makes it more like a deleted scene from The Wicker Man. Oh, that's a door. Gotcha. Magazines. Carmen Salazar's list of chronic pains is long enough to freak out a medical student trainee. Hello, young man. First time seeing the doctor? Yeah, I guess so. Don't worry, you're in good hands. Ouch. Oh. Are you alright? I can't complain today. I haven't had sinusitis for a week. My migraine calmed down last night, and the doctor is helping me control my chronic anxiety. The rest is, well, I've learned to live with it. Oh, it hurts more than yesterday. What hurts? My ankle. I sprained it yesterday when I got out of bed. Not a good way to start the day, huh? And although the doctor has a miracle cream for this kind of thing, right, honey? Of course, Mrs. Salazar. By the way, I see you're out of gum. I wouldn't if people didn't take 5 at a time. Oops. They are miraculous, too. So Martin Luther King Jr. Hospital. It's a real place in L.A. Oh, cool. I thought it might be this game. And you know, like, Vine Street is a real place. What are those for? They taste good. And that's it. They just taste good. They're made from real herbs, unlike those modern things with extracts of God knows what. Would you like one? I have a few in my bag. I usually take a bunch every time I come here. Don't tell Rosa. No, thanks. Take one, they're delicious. I appreciate it, but here you go. Don't let Rosa see you. Chewing gum. The Killer King. The hospital has badly untrained people that are hired more for their physical traits. Wow, that sounds terrible. That sounds more like a movie premise than real life. Wow. Chronic anxiety? I've never heard of such a disease. A very low percentage of diabetics like me suffer from it. I don't know the causes, but our vision becomes blurred and we begin to see blue and red halos. I guess that's what junkies must see when they're tripping. And what do you do when it happens to you? People often get nervous and rush to the doctor, but Dr. Ramirez has taught me some very effective breathing exercises. Wow, like people go into the hospital for minor issues and then die. It's disturbing. Oops. So I wonder if we can get the note out with the gum. You think this is a good time to try the chewing gum? It tastes like crap. Not only that, the gum's texture feels as if it had been out in the sun all day. Tired of chewing and having it stick in your teeth, you try to peel it out. It could be a movie or for 3 about the Killer King. You keep it in your pocket so as not to be branded uncivilized for throwing it on the ground. You don't eat it because you know the gum, that it is very bad for your digestive system to eat gum. And let's just try to do it now. The game allowed me to do it, so I must be on the right track. Isn't always an indicator, but more than 90% of the time. You push the brush through the gap and try to get the picture stuck to the gum. You succeed. With the photos finally in your power, you read the note. I'm sorry, Barry. I don't want to have this kind of material in my possession. I could get in trouble, and so could you. The photos are of 2 nude girls in sensual poses. Neither of them must be more than 15 years old. Oh. Well, then let's, the game won't show them to us, then. Mitchell's depravity knows no bounds. And I know just where to find a friendly cop. Got a friend who's in charge of a XXX theater. Tell him Paul sent you and he'll give you a discount. It's deluxe. Don't confuse it with the luxury. Yeah. Wait, come here, we'll come here later. Oh, I see. Evan's mansion. Maybe I shouldn't just walk up to the police and show him something. It's got the note to Barry. I feel like that's evidence enough. First. Can you take a look at this? Are you aware of what you're showing to me? I stole them from a Vine Street photographer. So they don't belong to you then? The best thing you can do right now is to hand them over to the closest police station, and they will take care of this guy. Can't you do anything? I have to be here. Do as I say. Take them to the nearest police station. Copy that, officer. Who won the NBA playoffs? Los Angeles Lakers. Did you doubt it? Suppose I couldn't suggest a trade, but be a damn fool not to make a photocopy first. Then he could just kill me and hide it. Oh. Okay. Killer King Hospital got shut down in 2008. Well, thank God. Thanks, WireBrain. That's interesting. Assume it also has a copier. I didn't see one. Don't apply me on with drinks. I already work for you. Maybe I should just, unless I saved, why not just talk to what's his name? Barry Mitchell. Cults. In the 70s, it was Satanism. Now it's a new age thing. The city is ridden with loonies. I know. Earlier today I saw one smoking a Havana. No, nobody got punched. Yeah. Met a hypochondriac old lady, had some chewing gum, snagged some child pornography. Just the usual stuff.
Streamer streaming game on stream. Streamer, I'm afraid. Streamer, you must pause with stream. Streamer got a raid. Here's a raider leading raiders. Welcome raider, welcome raiders. Are the raiders alligators? Raider, crackle.
Dragon of the West, thank you so much for the raid. How'd your stream go? How was it you were playing?
Streamer streaming game on stream. Streamer, I'm afraid. Streamer, you must pause with stream. Streamer got a raid. Here's a raider leading raiders.
Wow.
Welcome raiders. Are the raiders alligators? Raider, crackle.
Thank you so much. Good to see you. Oh, you were playing more of the Dark Pictures anthology and Dragon, and what were you playing, Hessian? Oh, thank you for coming by. Have a good night. Welcome in, everybody. My name is Purblind Gamer. I'm a legally blind retro and variety streamer who plays some shooters, some adventures, and a lot of horror. And since it's October, we're going to be playing all horror games all the time. And tonight we're playing Nightmare Frames, which is a horror game set in 1980s Hollywood, featuring a slasher movie writer. Yeah. Oh, guys, you guys were playing the Dark Pictures anthology together. Cool. Didn't realize it was a multiplayer game. But how is it? That sounds interesting. Oh, sorry, I saw you're taking off WireBrain. Thank you so much for recommending this game, and I hope you have a good night. It's a fun game. Oh, cool. Just an interesting part of the game. Yeah, I'm going to do the interesting part of this game, too. It's a fun adventure game so far. Yeah. Basically, this sleazebag photographer is holding our friend's pictures ransom, and we need her pictures so that we can get her this acting gig in a no-budget horror movie, so that we can get more information from the producer who runs the no-budget horror movie studio. Yes. The photographer is a horrible person, but we just kind of found, how shall I put this nicely, evidence of unpleasant things he has done with people of a very young age. I found something in your mailbox. Wait a minute. Have you been snooping around my mailbox? You son of a bitch. So you're in the business of taking pictures of underage girls, huh? Surprising, but not unexpected. Right, sleazy photographers? Redundant. I don't know what you're talking about. Those pictures should ring a bell. They were taken here. The background is the same as the one you have there. Are you accusing me of taking pictures of naked minors? Yes. That's a very serious accusation, my friend. Do you want to meet in front of a lawyer? Sure, why not? Although we could find ourselves in front of the police as soon as I hand over the material. Everyone will know what you did before we go to trial. You motherfucking piece of... What the hell do you want from me? You already know that. Vicky Hoff's photo book. Shit. 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 Shit, shit. Here you go. Now give me those pictures. I don't have them here. I said give them to me. You heard what I said. And don't get any closer. I'll get as close as I want, okay? Give me the pictures. I said that. What are you doing? Don't you touch me again. Is that a threat? Nice! You occasionally slam your fist on the desk when a script is not working out, but you've never punched a person. Not bad for the first time. It's nice. Damn, Rabbi Stone would be proud. You check if you've overdone it. No, the bastard is still alive. So you unzip your fly and piss on him just to be sure he got the message. Too much, too much. Sweet dreams, dickhead. Yeah, but hey, thank you. I saw you redeemed. Drink something. Yeah, here. I'll finish off this Ring Ring wine. It's got a telephone on the label, as the name might suggest. Cheers. Yep, that's wine, all right. Ring, ring goes the bell. The cook's in the lunchroom ready to sell. You're lucky if you can find a seat. You're fortunate if you have time to eat. Do you mind if I turn the music on? Do you know synthwave radio? Jeez. Wanted to listen to music while riding in the car and play Grand Theft Auto 3. Yeah, it was a pretty spectacular knockout. Joe will be proud.
Too late. The latest single by Self Delusion, which serves as a tease to their next album,
Vicky,
Happiness Hurts Me.
what do you want, Alan?
With the keyboards of Vincenzo Salvia, who
I have to give it to her.
will take us all the way to Paris. Wouldn't you love to be there?
I've got your book. Want to see it? Not really. I don't want to see that pig's work. Did you give him what he deserved? Kind of. That's my boy. What have you done, Alan? Me? Nothing. Stop wasting time. Take that book to the producer. I'm on my way. Vicky's not especially happy with us. That sound coming from the trunk? It's the baseball bat. I was robbed last night. Tonight's not going to happen again. Okay, as long as you don't have somebody tied up in your trunk. Oh wait, a director. We know a director. Washed up 1930s child star. Hi again, Mr. Smalls. Mr. Smiles. Would you like to direct again? Would you like to win an Oscar? There's this guy, Glenn Bishop from Flying Saucer Pictures, who's in a hurry to hire a director, so I thought of you. It's a cheap production, shot on video. I don't know. I would have to read the script first. Are you serious? Hell no. I'd shoot even a kid's birthday party just to film something. Hey, Alan. Tell me. And that guy will actually trust someone who hasn't directed for decades? He doesn't care. He only cares about saving his own ass. It's been a while since I've been behind a camera, but I do have some fresh visual ideas. Although by now, someone else might have come up with them already. I haven't watched a film in more than 20 years. And it's on video, you say? I've never shot on video. Doesn't matter, though. I'll make the cinematographer work harder. I'll do it. When is the interview with the producer? There's no interview. He wants you to go straight to the set, take a look at the script, and start shooting. Now? Right now. First, I have to stop by the shelter to take a shower, as I'm sure you'll understand. What day is it today? Friday? All right. I think the gala suit we share between all the guys at the shelter will be available tonight. Oh shit, Benny wore it yesterday to go on a date with Sharon. I hope he didn't get any stains on it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think I get the idea. Uh-oh. What's the problem? I can't walk onto a shoot not smelling like a director. How's a director supposed to smell? Certainly not like homeless shelter soap. Who cares about that? Back in the day, you knew who the director was as soon as he walked through the door, because he was well dressed head to toe and smelled of expensive cologne. And that demanded respect. I can't go into that set smelling like a shelter shower. In less than 4 hours, I would already have the actors and technicians acting all rowdy and undisciplined. Yeah. Oh. I hope you get enough sleep tonight, Hessian. What are you talking about? Do you think we're still in the 50s? It's not just about being a director. You also have to look and smell like one. But I'm old school. What do you want me to do? Go straight to the shoot without me having to get you some fucking cologne, maybe? But you'll do it, right? No. One of the expensive ones, huh? Thank you. A little help, please, to get this poor director's career back on track. Damn it. We saw. I think it was in Ruskin's office. Alan, you're always welcome here. Do you have a moment? Sure. Oh. Maybe it was somewhere else. Lucky I noticed it. And now I can't remember where I saw the cologne. What's it? What's his name? Was it James who was wearing it? I know there is a reference to the cologne. Yeah. It's not about the cult. Yeah. Wasn't that long ago. Shows you how much attention I pay to cologne. What did you say about Ronald Reagan? Careful what you say, or I'll have to kick you out of my taxi. I said literally nothing about Ronald Reagan. Give him the photo book at least. You still need a director. When you have one, you can show him Vicky's book. Do you like arcades? There's this new one, Quiz 85. It's fun, but the questions are tough. This is setting up that we're going to have to play the arcade machine in Joe's Diner. I, too, would rather shoot things when I am playing an arcade game. Something I would have. Is that a plant? Hi, we meet again. Where are we off to now? One of these days I'm going to start taking the bus instead of cabs. Especially the way I pop back and forth between locations. I really did think it was Ruskin Productions. Yeah. But hey, it was the 80s. Maybe cabs in LA were cheap back then. What do I know? None of the adventure games, you just, open the map, click on it, you go to the new location. Sides the window. It's hard for me to see the red font, so I'm trying to have to hover on things and see if. Okay, it was just on the desk. I was right, there was cologne on the desk. What's that? There's nothing left. Come on, Jack, there's more than enough. Are you planning on dousing yourself in cologne? Well, that would be nice. These modern-day colognes evaporate as soon as you put them on. Stop wasting my time. Make do with this. Respect, Alan, respect. Fine, fine. You seriously going to insist on more cologne? Come on, Jack. They're waiting for you. I've told you already, Alan. A director has to smell and look like one, yeah. I can't go around smelling like a shelter shower, I know. Damn it. How do we make more cologne? By watering it down, perhaps? Devious, I know. Oh my god, is that actually going to work? You fill the bottle of cologne to the brim. You're such a kook. Here's your goddamn cologne. Filled to the brim. I'll bathe in it, so everything's alright. One more thing. For God's sake, Jack. Where's the shoot? Oh. 1864 Kenmore Avenue. 1864. Very good. I'm nervous, Alan. Don't worry, just go there and do the best you can. I don't think Bishop will expect much from you except to finish the shoot without complications. I hope so. Something else. Has Bishop said anything to you about... you know? No, I don't. What's he supposed to have said? Well, something about... I don't follow. About money, damn it! What difference does it make? You're going to shoot a movie. Even if they pay you poorly, it will still be more than you would get begging here. Fair enough. Take this. I won't need it. What did he give you? I'm taking the $5 bill, though. You know what, Alan? You're a good man. No, I'm not. I need to talk to the producer, and I can't do that unless I get him a director. Minor details. You have given this poor old man a new lease on life. And that makes you a good man, even if you think otherwise. Now, if you'll excuse me... Hollywood! Jack Palmer is back. And, it's that way. And don't take any 8 balls, Jack. Please. It's back to his communist cigars. Talk to him before showing him Vicky's book. Hold on, Tony. Did you get... Yes. And that too. Tony, I'll call you later. My guardian angel has arrived. Well, well. Apologies for not offering you a chair, but I had a little mishap with the old office, and don't worry. Alright, let's get down to business to defeat the Huns. The director, who is it? Jack Palmer. Did that pause it? Yeah. Okay, thank you so much for hanging out, Big Fatty. I hope you have a good night, and thanks. I'm sure we'll get to the movie eventually. A giant insect guy. He's still alive. Sorry, it's the only one I could get. Are you serious? That's fantastic. Is it? Don't you watch Eliza's show? She plays his films all the time. Oh, it's an Eliza's like Elvira. I got it. The kids know him. I can already picture the hype. Jack Palmer's long-awaited return to directing. We have to take the advantage of this 50s revival, you know. The peeps at Fangoria will love it. I like your choice, Goldberg. And I like you. Did you send him to the chute? Yes, he should be on his way now, after bathing in cologne. Wonderful. Let's see the girl. Did you bring the photo book? Yes, here you go. Oh, well, let's see. So, those eyes. What a looker. She reminds me of that girl who was in the Osterman Weekend. Won by Sam Peckinpah. What was her name? Meg Foster, that's it. It's not a must, but can she act? She's the best actress I know. And how come I've never heard of her before? She hasn't had much luck. What are you waiting for? Call her and give her the news. Hopefully I know the diner's phone number. Vicky, it's Alan. The role is yours. No, you don't owe me anything. Does Joe agree? Will Karen cover for you? Perfect. Get on with it already. Tell her to rush to 1864 Kenmore Avenue and ask for Tony. Mr. Bishop says that. You heard him. That's all. Yes, we'll talk later. Break a leg, Vicky. Mr. Goldberg, you just saved my life. How can I ever thank you? And yes, you wanted to talk about Peter Evans. That's why you're here, right? Damn right. You see, Hollywood has its myths and its ghosts. But this one I'm going to tell you about is real. The Sister of Mercy. Ring a bell? I don't think so. She is a figure worshipped by everyone in the film business. She is stinking rich, more than you and I could ever imagine. She does and undoes as she pleases in Hollywood. You could say that Hollywood belongs to her. What does this have to do with Peter Evans? Evans was a poor bastard. He spent more than he earned. Hey, Slim Fat, welcome in. He had an obelisk brought from Egypt, probably, just for his dogs to piss on. I'm doing all right, thanks. How are you doing, Slim Fat? Good to see you. The studio no longer wanted him. He had cash flow problems and gambling issues. He was done for. He came to me because he heard that I could get him in touch with the Sister of Mercy. I called her, but she wanted nothing to do with Evans. She had no use for him. Evans probably saw no way out and shot himself. But you, on the other hand, I'm sure she would be delighted to meet you. What does the Sister of Mercy do? She's like the genie in the lamp. She offers you anything that you can think of. Money, power, whatever you want. But then asks for something in return. Such as... It depends on what she needs at the time. If so, how come you haven't? I haven't always been in the cheap movie business, Goldberg. In the 40s, I was an up-and-coming producer at RKO, and I blew it. Oh, he was the same one. Who knows what would have become of me if she hadn't helped me out? Not once, but twice. Twice? Let's just say that we had a very close relationship, if you know what I mean. You know what? Talk to her. She likes men like you, resourceful. You just proved it to me. Don't you have any ambitions? Is there something you want with all your might, and you feel there's no human way to get it? She'll make it happen for you. Take my advice. I don't know. When you get out of here, go to 10350 Challen Road in Bel Air. I'll call her. She'll be expecting you. It is the most I can do for you as a token of gratitude. All right, I'll go see her. You won't regret it. By the way, yeah, if you have an idea for a horror movie, I can listen to it, and if I like it, I'll buy it from you. On the cheap, though. All right. You're going to have a job writing horror movies, but thanks for the offer. My face is indeed familiar. We've spoken many times. Fancy. Mrs. Westmore will be with you shortly. Wait here, please. Westmore? Oh, interesting. The chair. Theater chair at this college they went to was named... No, that was Wetmore. What am I thinking? The Hobson family has been serving the Westmores since 1843. With no offspring and retirement approaching, he has long felt guilty about not being able to continue working for Helen Westmore for the rest of his life. Is that her?
No, it's her sister. She passed away in 45. Try not to mention her, sir.
Alan. Mrs. Westmore, there's no need for formalities. Please call me Helen. Take the day off, Hobson.
Thanks a lot.
Card lock on the elevator, or just a button. I'm glad you came. It's a pleasure to have the best horror screenwriter in my house. Are you familiar with my work? I have been fascinated by the genre since I attended the premiere of Universal's Dracula in '31 when I was 9. Since then, I've been interested in everything that has come before and after in horror cinema. But there is something that saddens me. That the person who is currently best understands the genre's tropes and takes them a step further does not consider himself a horror fan. Did they have the word tropes back in the 80s? I was, I guess, when I was young. Corman, Hammer films. But you've matured, right? I hope that's not what you're implying. Horror films are more than just silly entertainment for teenagers. There's more maturity and complexity in your first foray into the genre, Campfire Psycho, than in Melodies of Heaven. I hope you'll forgive my words, but that movie you hold in such high esteem was full of melodramatic cliches. Anyway, let us first address the matter that has brought you here. Peter Evans, right? You can't understand why a person who apparently had everything would take his own life. She seems to know everything. He had money, success, and health. Money, success, and health. Everything we aspire to in life, right? Money? He was a spendthrift, Alan. Obelisks in his garden brought from Egypt, daily parties in his mansion. Such a lifestyle is hard to maintain. Success? His last few films performed way below what the studio expected. Shareholders were anxious to get rid of him. As to his health, he was sick. He was a gambling addict. Why did he come to see you? He knew that his days as a star producer were coming to an end, and although he was aware that his life was about to change, he lost a fortune at poker. He even gambled away his mansion. He lost it. He wanted me to restore his status, both professionally and financially. Something I can do with a snap of my fingers. I'm rich, Alan. Filthy rich. You may have heard that I own Hollywood. And in a way, it's true. I do and undo as I please, but I always ask for something in return. And I had no use for Evans. He was not a seeker. Like all millionaires, he was used to having everyone carry out even the most basic tasks for him. Like you, I guess. Less than you might think. Hobson says I'm always stepping on his toes. Evans was not like us, Alan. Like so many others, in his desperation he turned to me as a last resort. I refused to listen to him, and that rejection was probably what pulled the trigger which blew his head off. But I don't feel guilty about it. What's a seeker? You, for example. Also that band who sang about Georgie Girl. Our mutual friend Glenn had a problem, and in a matter of an hour, you solved it. That is a seeker. I was lucky. I knew an actress and director. A lucky seeker. What more could I ask for? Come with me. Frankenstein, released March 1910 and produced by Thomas Alva Edison. It is believed to be lost. The only remaining copy lies in that display case. The price was to rescue Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer once more, but it was worth it. Let us continue. Interesting, but I swear they did find that film. Maybe it was one they believed lost for a while, like in the 80s. A Blind Bargain, directed in 1922 by Wallace Swirsky and starring Lon Chaney. The original negative was destroyed in 1931, and the last known print was lost in the same fire that destroyed the only copy of 1927's London After Midnight. There's Lon Chaney in a talkie. God, I hope they find that one sometime. Directed by Todd Browning and played by Lon Chaney. I know it. I've always wanted to watch it. It doesn't live up to its legend, but it's the holy grail for horror film collectors. Especially for those who don't know about Edward Keller's last film. Edward Keller. You know him, right? Of course. I've never felt more uncomfortable in a movie theater. Bloody Mind Games. Terrifying. A very low-budget film that horrified everyone who saw it. George A. Romero stated that he was influenced by it when making Night of the Living Dead. Even William Friedkin claimed that he tried to live up to it with The Exorcist, but failed. His mastery of the genre is unrivaled. You have that gift too, although Keller was more visceral. His last film, you said. It's my understanding that Bloody Mind Games was the only one he directed. I always thought it was a shame he didn't make more films. What happened to him? He disappeared. It is well known that after his debut feature film, William Castle bet on him to direct Rosemary's Baby before the studio opted for Roman Polanski. Interesting. Castle, really? They're weaving in real historical figures, but he can't find him. What few people know is that in 1970, The young reporter for Variety magazine called his boss to say that he had stumbled upon him in a small town. He claimed that Keller had shot the scariest film in history. And knowing what he was capable of, that might have been the case. What town was that? No one knows. The reporter never called again. He disappeared too. I want that film, Alan. And I believe you are the right man for the job. Tell me, what would you like in exchange?
Oh, shoot.
I want to write high-budget dramas. I can pick up the phone and get studios to fight over anything you may write, even your grocery list. But you need to be more ambitious. To win an Oscar. An Oscar? Anyone can win one without my intervention. You have a golden opportunity, Alan. Shoot higher. That's the only option they're giving me. To be rich and famous. Evans was rich and famous, and things didn't go so well for him. Go ahead, look inside yourself, and tell me what it is you desire the most, the one thing you could never get otherwise. I know what you want, Alan. You are trapped in this endless loop. You're unhappy with what you have. You want to be the master of your own life, not a slave to it. You will be. You just have to find that movie. Tell me, do you accept? Helen Westmore offers you everything you've dreamed of since you came to Hollywood. You would rather have earned it on your own merits, but an opportunity like this only comes along once in a lifetime, and only to a select few. Think carefully, Alan.
Is that the game telling me to think carefully?
I mean,
I'm curious how the game would go if I selected no, but I gotta do it. I'll do it.
excellent.
But where do I start?
The last clue we have is the missing reporter. But don't bother with Variety. They don't know anything. Try to follow his footsteps and find out how he got to Keller. But how? That is the job of a seeker. I'm sure you will know who to ask. No promises, but I'll try. It's been a pleasure, Alan. I know you'll be back with that film. I better get moving. Thank you, Helen. Good luck to you, Seeker.
Going about Rock Hudson again.
Goldberg. Welcome back. Make yourself at home.
Here is one we can go around asking different people, but
I've spoken to Helen Westmore. Yes, she called. She's very happy with you. You made a great impression on her. You can probably achieve what she asked of you without any problems. She knows what to ask and who to ask it of. You're a lucky man. Do you know anything about Edward Keller? Edward Keller. I haven't heard from him in a long time. He vanished off the face of the earth. I'm trying to find him. I met him, you know. It was just when he'd released Bloody Mind Games. Great movie. I suggested he shoot a similar film for Flying Saucer Pictures. He rejected me rather rudely. He had other plans. Big ones. He was ambitious. I can't deny that. Look, Goldberg, I know I have a reputation for not being a particularly nice guy. But Keller was in a whole other league. Do you know where I can find him? I have absolutely no idea. But if you want some advice, stay away from him if you do find him. It's not an option. I have an idea for a horror movie. Oh yeah? Tell me. Children's play. A serial killer called... I don't know, let's say... Curtis Lee Ray is mortally wounded by the police in a toy store while trying to escape, at which time he transfers his spirit into one of the best-selling dolls of that Christmas season. Continue. Some days later, a kid named... Randy? Sure, why not? Randy gets one of those dolls as a Christmas present, specifically the doll that Curtis Lee Ray transferred his spirit into. And the doll starts killing. Yeah. A dwarf. I'm sorry, what? The doll. It would have to be a dwarf in disguise. I know one. His name is Fred. He's as tall as a 6-year-old. He complains that no one gives him any elevated roles. Get it? It wouldn't look convincing. I thought about animatronics. Animatronics? Do you know how expensive that is? It's about making me money, not losing it. I don't like it. Another one. Oh boy. I don't know that we should go through all of these now. He's not going to be much help. Oops. You unfold one of the posters. Urban Witch Story. Oh, different ones. A terrifying journey beyond the stars. Dead Dimension. That reminds you. It was Dark Side of the Moon. There's a serial killer in my neighborhood. Can't watch. I can't really catch it, but it looked like basket case. Moving goes so fast and the font's so dark. I'm trying to see what it says. Yeah, I think that was inspired by Dark Side of the Moon, that poster. Bitty Tasters was, I don't know. Oh, he doesn't care if she's immortal or not. I must wonder what I'm doing. Looking at every poster 3 times. I should give you a discount. I would appreciate that, actually. Good old Jack's off directing. Do you know anything about Edward Keller? Keller? Sure. If I do this for a living, it's thanks to people like him.
I always wanted to do something on the level of bloody mind games, and I hope that one day you'll write something that surpasses it. If anyone's capable of doing it, it's you.
Do you know where I can find him?
No, Alan, I don't. Last I heard from him, he was about to direct Rosemary's Baby. Can you imagine? If he had directed it, Polanski's version would look like a Sesame Street episode in comparison. So, why the interest in Keller?
Just curious.
Well, I'm sorry I can't help you.
Excuse me. It's getting late. I'm enjoying this game, but I'll have to wrap up soon. Still being watched. Let's try the FX guys.
What's up, dude?
Do you know Edward Keller?
Edward Keller, man. He and his work give me the creeps.
Why is that?
Have you seen his only film? It's from '67, very low budget, and at that time, no other film had such realistic makeup effects. Before Tom Savini came along, nobody had seen amputations and decapitations of that level on screen.
What's your point?
Word has it that there was no makeup effects department on that film.
What are you saying?
Only the director was present at the premiere. None of the actors attended. None of them have been seen again in any other production.
From what I heard, they were not professional actors. It was normal that they didn't appear in any other films.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm looking for Keller. You wouldn't know where I can find him.
No fucking clue, dude. He vanished off the face of the earth. Although Wayne is the Keller expert here.
Who's Wayne?
My partner, man. He's a Keller nut. Just a sec. Wayne! Hey, Wayne, you idiot! Alan Goldberg wants to talk to you about Edward Keller. Dude, you better write something good. We just turned down a contract with New Line Cinema. Cut it out, man. Tell him about Keller. What do you want to know?
Mark here says there were no makeup effects on Bloody Mind games.
Oh yes, that legend. Bullshit. Kristen Masterson, who played Mary, was in several episodes of Happy Days in the 1970s. In the movie, they smashed her face. Mark, buddy, you're so gullible. Man, the one in Happy Days is another Kristen Masterson. That actress denies having worked with Keller. It's the same one, for fuck's sake. Older, but she's the same actress. Not again. We've been through this before. You know, man, Keller had the craziest theory. According to him, an actor should not appear in any more films once he finishes his role. This way, you avoid the schizophrenia of seeing the same character in two unrelated stories. That's where that absurd urban legend comes from, Mark. People think he really killed them. Oh, fuck off. Oh, fuck off. You fuck off. Okay, everybody calm down. I was just curious. What might in fact be true is, well, word on the street is that they used real corpses for the deaths. According to the crew credits, Keller was in charge of makeup effects. I know the craft, man, and either Keller was a genius or, well, they used real corpses. tell me about Keller. There's not much else to say about it. Nobody knew about him until he released Bloody Mind Games. It was a very cheap film, yet touched by the hand of a genius. It was released in only a few theaters, and it didn't gross much. However, the reviews praised it to no end. Nobody had seen anything like it before. It blended psychological horror with the gimmicky real well. Romero, Friedkin, Polanski, and even Hitchcock raved about the film, and a cult following soon began to develop around it. Have you seen it? Yeah, I got to see it as a kid in the cinema. It's a fucking masterpiece. So Keller, right? He was only seen once at the premiere. He gave a really crazy dissertation about fear. Nobody knew what he was talking about. He left during the screening. He was never seen again. Well, he gave a couple of interviews not long after, although there's a rumor that the answers were not his. A fake interview, you know? I want to find him. Well, you have your work cut out for you, pal. Nobody knows where he is. They call him the J.D. Salinger of horror. Hell, Salinger is easier to track down. Although he'll send you for a hike to do so. Has no one been in contact with him? Was he married? Did he have children? Fuck, I've been looking forward to this for months. What are you talking about? Mark, listen carefully. You're gonna shit yourself. Keller had a daughter with his partner. Some Kate. Kimberly? Whatever. The girl was named Elizabeth. Elizabeth Keller. Something happened to the couple, and Keller took charge of their daughter rather unwillingly. Their relationship wasn't very good, so Elizabeth cut ties with him. She took off and changed her name. She's quite popular nowadays. What? We all know her. Even our friend Goldberg has insulted her in an interview. Wait a minute. You can't be serious. Eliza's Bishops. You're fucking with me, right? How do you know that? Tracy told me. Tracy? From Hello Mary Sue? She had a fling with her. Apparently, one night she was feeling down and vented to Tracy. She didn't get along with Keller and walked out on him at the age of 13. If there is anyone who might know more about Keller, that might be Eliza. Although going by the dates, she must have flown the nest long before the premiere of Bloody Mind Games. I don't know if she'll be of much help. I can't believe it. What do you know about his last film? Edward Keller's lost film, huh? It's a myth, man. A hoax some guy from Variety made up. It doesn't exist. There's no record of it in any production company. And if it really existed, fuck, I'd give my right arm to see it. I need to speak with Eliza. Where can I find her? I think that video game she's starring in is coming out tomorrow, and she's presenting it at Radio Shack. I have an idea which one. Tomorrow? What about today? Right now she must be shooting Eliza's Mansion of Horrors. But I don't know in which studio. Sorry, I can't help you. Don't worry, you've been very helpful already. I know whom to ask. Keep me posted if Eliza decides to talk to you. Although I really doubt she will after all the shit you've talked about her. We'll see if there's any luck. Well, I still have to make 13 feet of intestines, so anything else, man? No, nothing I can think of. Then I'm off. Thanks, Wayne. Thanks to you, buddy. Wayne's alright, dude. Try not to take a dump on the genre in every interview you give. Too young to fall in love. Do you like horror movies? I love them. Have you seen The Mutilator? Yeah. Can't save here. Yeah.
Remember the first hit from Self-Delusion? That one was Pride. Time flies all right, doesn't it? Mark Clark will be with you in a minute, and he will be interviewing Mark Mothersbaugh from Devo. I'll leave you in good hands with something that has just arrived to the station. Turn Back Time, the new single from Decade Defector, exclusive for Sick Radio.
They're putting a lot of effort into the DJ.
It's been a pleasure. See you all tomorrow. Love you.
Figuring this game auto saves. But yeah, I should stop. What? Good lord, it's almost 1:30. Yeah. I'm enjoying this game. And yeah. I'm getting exhausted, my eyes are getting bleary, and I got work tomorrow. And the next day. And just about every weekday until I turn 65. Whew. Maybe the boss will give us Indigenous Peoples Day off. I doubt it, but it would be nice. I'm enjoying Nightmare Frame so far. Yeah, it's a lot of text, but it's a lot of good text, and I'm glad we finally got to the explanation of the lost film and getting on the quest for that. I wonder if it's inspired by Cannibal Holocaust, which was a 70s found footage movie that sounds a bit like that. Where the director actually had the actors hide for a couple of years after release to trick people into wondering if it was real. Crazy. Harder to get away with that now. Yeah. But yeah, I should wrap up, raid somebody. But yeah, just to remind everybody, the community challenge will be up for another, I think it's got another week left or thereabouts. And yeah, sorry again about not being able to play Shadows, the Price of Our Sins, like I'd said I would. It just won't work at all right on my computer. But you know, this is, no offense to it, but this is probably a better, more complex game. Good story. Yeah, as for what's coming up, on Saturday, I'll do something for Short Horror Saturday, something Halloween themed. And at some point I'll try and do a short horror stream to make up for the one I missed. But I don't know. And then no more bonus audiobook streams for a couple weeks, but on Sunday we'll start Alone in the Dark 3, which is the only Alone in the Dark I'd actually played before I started streaming, so it'll be fun to see how it compares to the first two now. If I enjoyed it as much as I did 10 years ago or something. I have to play at least one classic survival horror or proto-survival horror title for Spooktober. And
yeah, we'll continue Nightmare Frames next Wednesday. Let's see who's online. See, this is playing spooky stuff. Neon Arcade's playing old Super Nintendo games. Someone playing Nightmare on Elm Street. I wonder if that's the old DOS version. I was going to. Yeah, no, he's not streaming anymore. Rats. Maybe we should. Oh, you know, I don't think we've rated a Voozle in a bit, and he's playing Eternal Darkness, which is a GameCube exclusive, and supposed to be a particularly scary game. Yeah, and he doesn't have that many viewers. Let's go check a Voozle out. Yep, almost forgot the underscore. There we go. Once again, thank you guys all for coming to hang out tonight. I appreciate all the chatters and I appreciate all the lurkers. And thank you guys for the raids and gift subs tonight. Really nice of you. See, you guys can follow me on Twitter and MySpace, where I post stream announcements and occasionally polls and occasionally other silly things. And you can find VODs of my past streams up on YouTube. So, I hope that everybody has a good night, gets to enjoy some good horror movies between now and next stream. Maybe good lost horror movies if you've come across any. Yeah. Say hi to a Voozle, have pleasant nightmares, and I'll see you all this weekend.